like there's always something new. There
is always something new, which is why technical things are fun.
But you pee on your toes.
Okay. So we should be live.
Oh.
Go
We're
ahead.
good. Hi everyone, Austin here at Common Bond for 45-minute mindful flow. For this practice, you might just want a pillow or a bolster if you have one and a block nearby. And we'll get started laying down on the ground today. Finding a nice, easy practice today on this rainy-ish day. Taking as much space as you like here on your mat. Maybe you take that pillow or bolster underneath the head or the spine. Maybe it's more comfortable to have both feet planted into the mat, hip distance apart. You can also bring the soles of the feet together for balanced angle. Just find your configuration for your practice today. Allow the eyes to close here. And just take a moment to start to explore what's happening in the body right now. Notice any unintentional clenching, whether that's in the jaw, the facial muscles, the fingers, the toes. Notice that tendency to want to clench, whether it's just habit or stress or anxiety, and just give it a moment to try to relax it. Just try to allow the fingers to release, the toes to relax, the jaw to unclench. Notice any muscle tightness, soreness throughout the body. Notice the points of the body that are in direct contact with the floor, the mat. Notice sensations, textures, temperature differences. Start to direct the focus to that lively, wonderful breath that's sustaining you in this moment. How it's moving the belly, the chest, expansion through the rib cage, that deflation on the exhale, that melt down, that release, both mentally and physically. Starting to invite the breath to grow a little bit with your next round of breath in. Notice that deeper expansion outward in the inhale. The ribs fully expand outward. And that exhale, that melt back down. And taking that again, inhale to fill up. Bringing as much air as you can into the belly, into the chest. And then exhale, find that release. And inviting a little tension to release with each exhale. And continuing that process for 5 to 10 rounds of breath. Really connecting with your breath here. Really trying to fill up with each inhale. Notice how it changes the state of the body. how each exhale softens the body. Maybe you notice with each round, there's a little bit more room in the lungs to breathe even deeper than the last one. Really using this breath as a tool to move stuff through the body, soften, awaken, all of those various purposes that this breath gives us, serves us. As you take these breaths, notice where the mind may be leading you in this moment. Maybe you're fully captured by that breath, fully focused on that breath. Or maybe sometimes the thoughts start to take over, start to overwhelm. It starts to pull you away from what's going on here on your mat in this moment, thinking too much about the future, the past, what you need to do for the rest of the day, any worries, or thinking about positive things as well. Just notice that drift away. And always knowing that you have that power, that capability to draw it back to this moment by bringing it back to the breath, back to the body. The goal isn't to change thoughts or stop thinking. It's kind of hard to do, nearly impossible. But just that art of noticing where you drift away and coming back, and drifting away and coming back, and over and over and over. Starting to move a bit in the body, starting to plant both feet into the mat. Use an inhale, start to pull the right knee in towards the belly, wrap the arm around any point along the leg. Just really using it to curl it into that side belly. Taking a round of breath here. You always have that option to find a bit more sensation. That's what you need. You can extend the left leg forward. If you do so, just make sure to flex that foot, point those toes towards you, so it brings that lower hip more into the mat. Take one more round of breath here. And use your next exhale as it comes to set that foot back into the mat. Inhale to pull the left knee up towards the belly. Wrap the arms around it. Pull it in. Breathing into the side body here, into that compression in the left hand side of the belly. And when you took that leg extension on the other side, maybe trying it on this side, maybe the sensation's too much on this part of the body, you can always just come back to that first variation. Breathing here. And exhale to set that foot back in. Bring the right foot back into the mat, hip distance apart. Start to open up the arms towards the side. You can just relax the backs of the hands into the mat. Coming into a light twist just for 2 or 3 breaths, taking an inhale and exhale, allowing the knees to fall all the way over towards the right. Finding this nice passive stretch through the spine, finding some release in the lower back. Inhale to bring the knees to center. Exhale, slowly bring them over towards the left, finding that stretch in the opposite direction. Twisting out the body, wringing it out. And inhale, start to bring the knees back to center. Plant the forearms into the mat, root the palms. Starting to awaken a bit, finding deeper connection with the breath, with the body. Engaging some strength here. As you inhale, start to press into the heels, scoop up the hips towards the ceiling. Keep the hips pulling inwards versus falling out or too close in, but just align with the hips. Bridge. Try to find some space through the neck, not tucking the chin too much to the chest, but keeping the crown of the head nice and extended backward. Take an inhale. And exhale, slowly start to roll the spine down to the mat. We're going to take that a couple of times. Another activation. You can press more into the heels and lift the toes off the mat. So when you inhale, you press into the heels, toes stay lifted as you lift the hips up. And exhale carries the spine down. Toes are still lifted. And just take 3 to 4 rounds with that with your own breath, trying to really keep action with each breath. So lift the length of your breath in. And then exhale, take your time. Lower down with that breath out. Finish 2 more rounds at the rate of your breath. Maybe you start to notice the hips, the glutes, the thighs start to fire up here. Lowering down for your final round. Plant the feet back into the mat if you took that variation. Wrap both knees in towards the belly. Just rock side to side. And then start to rock front to back. Slowly gaining more momentum. It'll eventually carry you up to seated. Just crossing the legs. Take a moment to find some length through the spine. Inhale, reach the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. Exhale, pull the shoulder blades together. Drop the shoulders down. Find room through the chest, through the heart. Inhale, sweep the arms up towards the ceiling. Maybe look up towards the fingertips. Blink the eyes open if they were closed. And exhale, draw the hands down through heart center. Inhale. Exhale out. And take whatever transition that you like to come to tabletop, rolling over the shins or sweeping the legs over to the side. Starting to stack shoulders above wrists, hips above knees. Spread nice and wide through those fingertips. Take an exhale, bring the elbows out. Inhale, scoop the elbows in towards each other. And exhale, press back into the hands. Finding this nice engaged tabletop here. Hips are slightly scooped underneath you. Lower belly is engaged. Press through the base of the knuckles. Gazes coming straight down towards the fingertips. Finding neutral spine, neutral neck. Take a round of breath in and out here. And then slowly start to find your cat-cow movement. Inhale, drop the belly. Roll the gaze forward. Exhale, press into the hands. Scoop the hips underneath as you start to arch the spine. Release the neck here. Still pressing through the base of the knuckles. Inhale carries you down, forward through the head for cow. And exhale, everything curls in, tucks in for cat. Taking 2 more rounds of that with your breath. Moving through the spine, waking it up. Start to come to neutral tabletop. Tuck the toes underneath you, finding those points of the hand, pressing down, 4 corners, knuckles, palms, fingers. Start to tuck the toes, lift the knees on an inhale, press even more into those hands, and exhale, start to lift the hips up and back. Finding your first down dog, any variation here that you like, bent knees, straight legs, pedaling out your dog, finding stillness, noticing which option you choose. For 2 breaths. Next, exhale. Bend into the knees. Look forward towards the fingertips. Gently walk the feet towards the hands. Finding that ragdoll position, bending deeply into the knees so the belly rests on thighs. It's really important here that the belly is on the thighs. You're not up here with the spine arched and legs straight. But exhale, really bringing the belly down so the torso drapes over the legs. Drop the neck. Hands can come down to the ground, or elbows or shoulders. You can sway side to side. Pedal out the legs. Taking 1 more round of breath here. So release the hands down to the mat. Still keeping that nice little bend or deep bend in the knees. And inhale, slowly roll up. Hips will scoop underneath you as you roll up vertebra by vertebra, pressing through the insides of the feet. Head and shoulders, the very last thing to rise. Maybe you take that nice shoulder roll, inhale the shoulders all the way to the ear. Exhale, roll them down and back. Finding that nice active mountain pose. Opening shoulder blades back towards each other, palms open up, palms face forward. Maybe picking up the toes a little bit for a moment, pressing through the 4 corners of the feet here, and then releasing the toes into the mat, trying to scrunch them underneath you. Pressing through the feet to engage the legs. Slightly bring the chin up. Find as much length in the spine here as you can to counteract that rounding we tend to do throughout the day. Take 2 rounds of breath here. Next inhale, start to scoop the arms up towards the ceiling. Palms meet. Exhale, start to draw the hands down through heart center. Inhale, sweep back up. This time on the exhale, start to rotate the torso towards the right, keeping the hips exactly where they were, and reach that right arm back, left arm forward. coming into a twist here. Still rooting down through those feet, nice and engaged legs. Maybe you take an inhale. Maybe exhale, pulls that right shoulder back a little bit more. You can even look back towards the fingertips. If this is too much, you can always just bring the hands to heart center and twist from there. Really trying to press that right hip forward, left hip back here. The tendency is the right hip to want to come back. But keeping it nice and pressing forward to really breathe into that twist. Inhale, when you're ready, scoop that right arm underneath and lift both arms up towards the ceiling, palms touch. Exhale, draw the hands down through heart center. Inhale, sweep up. Taking that to the opposite side. Exhale, keep the hips square towards the front of the room as you start to reach that left arm back, right arm forward, or hands at prayer. Trying to press the left hip forward or right hip back to keep the hips squared. Pull the shoulders down. You take an inhale and exhale, pull that shoulder back a bit more. One more on the breath here. Next, inhale carries that left arm down and then up, reaching the right arm up as well. Palms meet. Exhale, draw the hands down through heart center. Inhale, lift up towards the sky. Exhale, soften into the knees. Hinge forward. Take it nice and slow here. Come into that forward fold. Maybe inhale, straighten through the legs a bit. Exhale, release. Next, inhale, come into that halfway lift. Pressing the hands underneath the knees into the shins. Pull the crown of the head forward. Gazes towards the mat. Hips slightly scooped underneath you. Lower belly engaged. More weight into the toes. Slight bend at the knees is always helpful here. Not trying to hyperextend the legs. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Release the head here. Exhale, bend into the knees. Inhale, scoop the arms up. Press into the feet, straighten through the legs, rise all the way up. Palms meet. Use an exhale, carry them down to the heart. Finding a little bit of a mindful flow here, moving slowly, staying connected with the breath, noticing where the stretch is in the body. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, start to open the arms out towards the right-hand side of the mat. Take an exhale. Inhale, slowly scoop the arms up towards the ceiling. Meet the palms, feel the skin on skin contact. Exhale, draw the hands down to the heart. Inhale, sweep back up. Exhale, twist over. Next, inhale, reaches both arms towards the ceiling. Palms meet. Exhale to center. Inhale to the sky. Exhale, soften to the knees, hinge forward. Take your time. Inhale for your halfway lift. And exhale, come back into your version of your forward fold. Make this posture your own. Find any point along the leg that you want to grab onto. Bend as much as you like into the knees. Release the neck. Breathing into the backs of the legs. Maybe you start to find a block Or you can just come up onto the fingertips as well. Bring that block or your left hand in front of the left foot. Take an inhale. Exhale, start to bend in to the left knee, keeping the right leg straight. Inhale, maybe start to reach the right arm up towards the ceiling, twisting over towards the right. And here you can bring the gaze up towards the ceiling or just look towards the side, whatever is easier on the neck here. Finding a stretch in the spine with this twist, but also in that right leg. Pressing through the inside of that right foot. One more round of breath in. Next exhale carries that arm down, bending back into both knees. Release the head. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Bring that block in front of the right foot or right hand onto mat. Take an inhale. Exhale, start to bend into the right knee as you straighten through the left leg. Next inhale reaches that left arm up towards the ceiling. Once again, gaze towards the side or up towards the fingers. Pressing through the inside of that left foot. One more round of breath here. And next, exhale to lower down. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale to release. Bending deeply into the knees. Plant the hands. Step both feet back. Finding plank here. You have the option to come to the knees if this is too much on the wrists. If knees are lifted, slide the feet all the way back until the heels start to line right above the toes. Scoop the hips slightly underneath you. Press through the base of those knuckles as much as you can. You find a slight arch in the upper back. Breathing here, engaging the core, building some heat. Notice any shaking that enters the body. Heat starts to build. This posture gets a little more and more difficult as we hold. Notice if you lose control of the breath as we hold. One more round of breath here. Next exhale, lower the knees. Untuck the toes. Come to child's pose, drop hips to heels. Release the arms, maybe forehead to block or mat. After that engaging posture, maybe starting to find a little bit more control over the breath, slow it down. Two more rounds of breath here. Next inhale, slowly start to press up to your hero's pose. You can take a block underneath the knee, in between the thighs here. Maybe a pillow underneath the knees for some extra cushion, support. A little bit more ease. I'm not gonna stay here long. Next inhale, sweep the arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, reach the arms out towards the side. Take an inhale, pull the shoulders back, open up the chest. Exhale, wrap the arms around you. Giving yourself a nice little hug. Drop the chin towards the chest. Maybe you walk the fingers towards each other as much as you can. Get a nice opening through the upper back here, through the shoulders, shoulder blades. Inhale, start to reach both arms back out. Open the chest. Exhale, bring the arms back, wrapping them around you, bringing the opposite arm on top. Chin resting in the arms, fingers walking towards each other. 2 breaths here. Inhale to start to open up. And exhale, lower the arms down to the side. Drop the hips over to one side. Remove that block. Swing the legs forward. Finding another twist. Practice a lot of twists. So pick up that right foot. Plant it in line with the left knee. Maybe take your hand, place it in between the knee and the foot, and you want about a handprint distance in between the two, not having them right next to each other. Maybe you have to move some of the flesh from the glutes to the side, so you're finding a nice elongated spine here. Taking that left hand to the knee, taking that right hand beside you, palms facing the back of the room. Take an inhale. Exhale, start to twist over towards the right. You're wrapping that left arm around that right knee. Invite you just to close the eyes here. Trying to flex that left foot as well. This twist may restrict the breath a little bit, requiring you to breathe a little bit more into the chest than the belly. The belly's a little bit compressed right now. One more round of breath here. Inhale, slowly start to come out of your twists. Start to take that right foot, pick it up, cross it over, place the ankle on top of the thigh, right above the left knee. Take your fingers, interlace them between the toes, pressing that right knee away from you. Left foot is still flexed. You just start to use the left hand to roll out the right ankle. Taking circles in one direction. Halfway through, switching through the other side. Eventually bringing that to a stop. Inhale, sweep, arms up. Try to grow as tall as you can. And then exhale, hinge forward as much as you like here. This right foot is pressing that left leg nice and straight, so you may not come as far into this forward fold because you can't bend the left knee to assist this posture a little bit. So just find where you feel the stretch and stay there. Maybe start to notice if you're rounding, curving too much through the spine like you're in your cat pose. If you notice that, really inhale, start to pull the chest forward. Try to shine the chest, the heart, towards the front of the room. And then from that space of length, with each exhale, keeping that length, maybe you bring the heart down a little bit more. Maybe you're able to grab onto the foot, Trying to make sure that that action doesn't pull the shoulders up to the ears, but still pulling the heart forward, shoulders down. Two more breaths here. In this version of a fold, you feel this a little bit more in the calf. Next inhale carries you up. Reaching that right leg forward. Taking those two postures on the other side, planting that left foot into the mat. Find that hand print distance apart between the right knee and the left foot. Wiggle some of the flesh of the glutes to the sides so you can find yourself sitting on the tailbone. Nice and tall. Start to bring that right hand to left knee. Take that left hand behind you, point the fingertips back. Flex the right foot. Inhale, go tall. And exhale, start to gently twist over towards the left. Maybe hooking that right arm around the left knee. Taking another breath. Inhale, reach up even more through the spine. Maybe exhale, twist a bit more. Switching more to that deep breath in the chest. One more round of breath here. And inhale, slowly start to come forward. Pick up that left foot, cross it over, place that ankle on the upper right thigh. Flex the feet. Maybe move a little bit more of the flesh to the side. Take those right fingertips in between those toes. Start to use the hand to roll out the ankle. Switch directions. Bring it to a stop. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, try to lead with the heart, pulling the chest forward and coming into this variation of your forward fold. Place the hands anywhere you like, into the mat, anywhere along the leg, or grabbing onto the feet or the foot. Breathing here. Notice when your body starts to want to round that natural rhythm we take during our day when we're sitting down at our computers. Inviting that readjustment, that pulling of the chest forward, finding that length through the spine, and using that exhale maybe to calm down with that newfound length in the body. Your hands reach for the feet, rolling those shoulders down, not shrugging them too up high, trying to find space. Not trying to create constriction just to see how far we can get into the posture. Maybe you noticed that voice in your head that's telling you not going too far down enough. Extending that voice some compassion, just letting them know that it's not necessarily what you need, it's what you think you need in this moment. Take one more round of breath here. Inhale, slowly start to come up. Extend that left leg forward. Start to plant both the feet into the mat. plant hands beside you. Press into the hands. Pull the shoulders together. Shoulder blades come towards each other, pressing through the inside soles of the feet. Just drop the head back. Breathing here. Counteracting some of those forward folds we've been doing. Two more breaths. To come out, exhale. Slowly draw the chin down to the chest. And wrap the arms around the knees. Inhale, pull the chest forward, maybe even more. Sit up nice and tall. And exhale, start to round through the spine, drop the head in between the knees. Finding this variation of your seated cat-cow. Inhale, pull the chest forward and up, lift up through the crown of the head. And exhale, let it all go. Release the head. 2 more rounds just like that. Inhale. Chest nice and proud. Exhale to soften. 1 last round. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale to come back up to neutral. The option just to come down to the spine any way you like. You can reach the arms forward, palms face up. Find length. And exhale, lower down, engaging the lower belly, using your core to come nice and slow to the mat. You come down to the bottom, pull both knees in towards the belly. Hug in, tuck in. We rock side to side. Give your body that nice little self-massage. Start to plant the soles of the feet back into the mat. Coming into one last posture, bridge pose, just like we did at the beginning. Planting the forearms into the mat, feet hip distance apart. Inhale, start to press into the heels, lift the hips up, holding here for 2 or 3 breaths. You have the option to bind if you wish, bringing the fingers to interlace in between each other, walking the shoulders a little bit underneath you to lift the hips up a little higher, still pressing through the insides of the feet. Find length through the neck, through the throat. One more deep breath in here. Exhale, unclasp the hands if you took that option and bring the spine down to the mat. Set up for Shavasana. Extend the limbs out in all directions. Bring the palms up or down. Use any of those wonderful props to support you as you come to this final moment of your practice today. Allowing the eyes to gently close to rest. Maybe you're able to still notice some light, some of those pops of color behind the eyelids. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Release the breath. Maybe the tongue drifts away from the roof of the mouth, the lips slightly apart. Allowing gravity to press you down, weigh you down. Surrendering into this posture, not trying to fight against gravity, but really just allow the body to melt into the mat. Fingertips will want to curl in towards the palms. Feet fall out towards the side. Notice any sensations that are coming up in the body here in these final moments. Again, that gentle noticing of thoughts, feelings that come up. Trying to release that struggle that we tend to have with thoughts and emotions, that desire to not to think or feel certain things. Giving those things space to exist, to acknowledge them, to just listen to the message that they're offering us. You don't have to accept it, you can listen. Breath is always there to reconnect you when you drift too far off. You get too stuck in that cycle of thought, that battle with thoughts. That function of the body that's always present. Stay in this space as long as you can, being in that state of observing, reflecting, restoring. The light within me honors and respects the light within all of you out there. Namaste.